What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is Make Them Tech. I believe you guys have been enjoying our tutorials. Today we want to look at how to write middleware in Express. Express is a Node server-side framework. There are 5 things I want you guys to note about middleware. They are very crucial, and I want us to put our minds on them. Number 1, they are functions. Yes, they are functions. 2, they run in between request-response cycle. Yes, the client makes a request, and it is the duty of the server to respond to that request. So the server, the client makes a request, and then the server gives a response. Yes, that cycle, before it gets completed, your middleware needs to do whatever it needs to do. So middleware functions run between request and response cycle. The third one, they have access to request and response objects. Yes, so if you want to get something from the request, we have request method, we have request.method, we have request.url, we have request.body, all those things. Even request.body is from another middleware. So you have all those things like that. So you can even engage, you can even add to the request objects. If you have a particular property you want to add to it, you can also do that. The fourth one is they must be engaged or fired before routing. Yeah, if you put your middleware after your routing, just know that nothing is going to happen. It's not going to fire. Yeah, so because the routing, your endpoint takes care of the request that comes from the client or from any server that is calling your endpoint. And if you need your middleware to function, then you need to make sure that it is before your routing. Then the last one is they are like filters in other server-side languages. Yes, so these 5 things are very, very crucial, and I want us to put our minds on them. This will enable us to understand middleware very well in Express. I have an article that I've written already on written platform, an article publishing platform, that I want to also take us through. I will open the article now, and I will give us an illustration about how middleware functions operate. So we also, after that, we also get into our VS Code and write some middleware that we can relate to it, and then from there I believe we should be able to understand 1 or 2 things about middleware. This is an article written last year, Understanding Express Framework, Configuration, Middleware, and Routing. Let me go to where we have the middleware explained, and that will be, yes. Now, there's an illustration here that we want to talk about. It's just like middleware is just like when you send someone an errand, and your errand in this case is routing. Then the things you need that you want the person to buy for you are the resources from the server. The client is actually looking forward to getting something from the server. Now, when the request has been, let's say the person has gone, now there is need for you to provide money and something to package what the person is buying for you, like maybe a carton or a kind of polythene bag. So these 2 things can be referred to as middleware, because if the person gets those resources and then wants to deliver it to you, you will need it to be well packaged, and also the person cannot get it unless he has money to buy it for you. So middleware are like when you get a request, before you send a response to the client, you need to, maybe you want to tweak, you want to do 1 or 2 things, then you have to do that. And that's why I want to read this to our hearing. That's why, okay, now there are functions that run between the client request and the server response. The most common middleware functionality needed are error managing. Yes, if you want to manage your error, you can bring a middleware, database interaction, get information from static files. For example, now we have express.static or other resources. We have examples of body parser, cookie parser, we have Morgan. All these are middleware that we bring into our application to achieve some goals, some things in our code. And also note this, that to move on the middleware stack, the next callback must be called to move to the next step in the flow. So basically what we are talking about here is that just note that there is the response, there is the request, and there is the response, and it's a cycle. And before the cycle gets completed, inject your middleware, let it perform what it needs to be performed, and then you are okay. Now I will get into the code editor now, and then we try one or two things. So we have our Express here, that's app.get. This is a root endpoint. Let me just fire this and let's see what we'll have. Okay, let's just say localhost. So if I fire this call now, what do we have? Oh, sorry, we've not even, okay. So let me start the server. So we have this coming back. Now let's say we want to, let's start by writing a logger, something that logs, something like Morgan. I hope some of us are familiar with Morgan, or if you are not familiar with Morgan, what Morgan does is your request as it comes in. So let's just say, let's call this thing, let's say let request logger be equal to, let me use arrow function, request response, then next. The next is your callback. That is, the next is a callback that you need to engage whenever you are done with your code that is inside your middleware, so that it can continue that stack, that middleware stack. Console. Now this time around I will just log some of the console request. Let me just say request logged. So now we need to call our next callback. So that's it. Then we need to use app.use to engage our middleware. So use method is what we use to engage our middleware. And you must also note this, that this middleware is not tied to any route or any endpoint. So it's general. Any endpoint, any call that enters, this middleware will find. Let's test what we've done. So you see, now it's locked. And you can see it again, another one, request locked. Now take for instance, so now I earlier told you that middleware have access to request response objects. So this time around I'll be logging the URL and the method of the request. Let's try out that. So let me change this to string literal as method is, so request dot method. That's request dot URL. So let's try out this new page. So let's check out. Can you see method is get and URL is this. So because we are actually making call the root endpoints, so that's why you have that. So if you have anything maybe like slash users or slash post, you will see it here. So that's that. So let's proceed. Let's try to write something. Let's say maybe you want a name of someone. Let's say you want to use it here. Let's say you want to use it as part of what is coming out here. Now let's something like let me just call it should we just call it okay, this time I'll let this function. Okay, and I want to practicalize what I earlier said the other time, that if you don't put your middleware before your route, you will not get anything. Let's put this after this route here. So you come here. Yes. So this thing that must be before your route. So let me reposition it back to where it is. Yeah. So let's try out another example. For example, let's say you want let us call it function is my name. So this time around I'm using the function definition. So let our parameters, that's the best response in the next come back. Now here I'm going to put something like first name, and then I will put, let's just say I'm putting John. Then let me put a callback here. So I'll engage this function here also. Now this has made this because this is the object and this is the new field. We have just added a property to the request object, and then we have assigned this name John to it. So let's put it here. Now let me just say name, then let me request dot first name. So we have this now. Now let's try out this. Name John. So now for us to also know that do something at our own end, let's say maybe create a new file and then do our own put in our own middleware and then require it in our code. Let me just call this one my middleware.js. So we'll first of all do something like saying function. Let's call this function what should we call it? Okay, there's something called, okay, let's say request time. So we have our request response, have next. So here now we can say request time is equal to new date. So that is date dot now. Okay, so we have this, and then our next, this guy. So then here we have to do our normal module dot export, which is equal to what? Request time. Okay, so then we come back here, then we say const request time is equal to require. So what's that? My middleware. Yeah. So I can use it here now directly. So let me just get it. Let me use app use, and that is going to be request time. Yeah. Okay, and then I want this for us to know that we can also tie it to an endpoint, a URL. So let's do it like this. So let's just say time. Let's just put times. Yeah. So let me do something like app.get, and that will be, yeah, time request response. So now if I fire this call now, for us to understand what I'm talking about, if I put time here and I put request.time here, you will not get any results because is tied to this URL, this time endpoint. So it will only work for this route. But for us to know, let's try it out so that we see that. So you see now, you still get the same result. But let's do /time. Then you get your time. Can you see? Time. So that's how middleware works. Now I want us to also do something like in the situation by you want to do some configuration. You know, there's some middleware that you use like your body parser or session, express session, and some others. You need to do the as arguments. So how do you do that? Let's quickly do something like let's say we have to add this. Okay, and so put our attention to, you can see the URL here. URL is /time. Yeah. So here now I can do something like module.exports. Yeah. So let me use this. That is okay. So that we will not be confused. Let me just use the normal function here. We can also use arrow function here too. So let's say x comma y. Yeah. So we do function that is for our request object, response object, and the next callback. Yeah. So I'm going to do request.add is equal to, let's say, x plus y. And then we bring next callback. You must not forget this, otherwise your code will be you get stuck somehow. So it's good you get to know this. Yeah. So add, then require, that's it. So this time around to, let's say directly app.use. That's so we are bringing add, then you have to put, let's say you put 2 3. You can see now we've added the argument, and then okay, let's add it to what we have here. So I'll change this to add, and that's request.add. So let's see the result. We put 2 3. So because it is general, it's not tied to any route, so we are going to have our results at the root endpoint. So message I, name John, then add 5. 2 plus 3 gives 5. So that's that. I believe you would have understood 1 or 2 things about middleware. And one more thing that I want to do, and that's like a kind of authentication, so that you can also note that you might not even use app.use. You might just use it directly on your endpoint. And for any endpoint you slot that middleware into, it's going to just perform its function. So let's say we have something like auth.js. So what do we want to achieve here? We just want to say, for example, let's say you have module.export. Let's say we have something like function auth. So we have request, we have response, we have the next. So in this case, okay, I don't even need to, okay, let me even use arrow function here. Yeah. So now, like I said, middleware have access to requests, and response objects. So we can say if request.headers.authorization authorization is equal to, let's just use something like abc1234, then it should it should allow you to continue, else we bounce the person. So we just say res.status, that is 41 unauthorized, then JSON, let's give this back to the person, and that's error. What are you trying to do? Not allowed. This more authentication stuff, whereby any call that does not have this authorization, that does not have authorization equal to ABC1234, will return an error, that is a 401 error, that is unauthorized HTTP status with this message not allowed. Let's go back to our code index, and that's so here now we just do const auth is equal to require, and that's and that will be auth. Yeah, so this time around we don't even need to use auth. So let's say this is for, let's say app.get something like should we just say admin? Let's say admin. Yeah, so request response. Okay, or okay, let's just say should we just put, okay, users. Okay, users. Okay, we have a data, and the data is, we have name, we have name, let me just put some things, Joseph. Okay, Kate. So we are returning this to a client. Okay, so okay, that will be data. I just put data. I think that's fine. I think we are okay with this. So at this moment now, if we make a call to this endpoint, we are going to get the desired results, that is users. Let's do that now. Yeah, so this is what we have. Now let's try to restrict people. So we bring in our auth here. Our auth here, the middleware here. So now let's try this out. So can you see the error? Error not allowed, and see the status 401 unauthorized. Can you see? So it means that for every endpoint that you create on your inside your code, and you put your auth there, your auth function, your middleware function, you can always authenticate that route. So now if I want to do that thing, then I will have to probably I have to put my authorization, yes, and that's ABC1234. So let's make this call now. Can you see now? So you have your results. Now at least I want to believe that I've been able to get two things about middleware. So we've come to the end of the tutorial. You can also work more on how to use other middleware that have been created already. You can also write your own, and then you can always ask questions in the comment section of our Make Them Tech YouTube channel. And you can also read the article I showed at the outset of this tutorial. And also there are other online articles and tutorials that you can also pick up to learn. I want to believe that you must have enjoyed this video tutorial. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Make Them Tech. We have we do give video tutorials on React, Node, and the likes. So please also turn on the notification bell so that whenever a new video is dropped, you can get notified. So thank you. I will see you in our next video.